Welcome to The Explainer. You know that gentle headbutt your cat gives you? Is that just pure affection, or are they kinda marking you as their property? Well, today we're cracking the code on the subtle and, let's be honest, sometimes baffling world of our feline friends.
Cats have this reputation, right? For being mysterious, unpredictable, maybe even a little bit aloof. But what if that's all just a big misunderstanding? What if they've been sending us crystal clear messages this whole time and we just haven't been speaking the right language?
Because here's the truth. Your cat is basically an open book. They are constantly communicating with every single part of their body. We're talking from the very tip of their tail all the way to the twitch of their whiskers. We just need to learn how to read it.
All right, so let's dive right in. We're going to start with some of the biggest, most obvious signals a cat sends, the messages they're sending with their tail and their overall posture. So a cat's tail is this incredible emotional barometer. But here is the absolute #1 rule you have to remember. A wagging cat tail is not like a happy wagging dog tail. Not at all. A happy, confident cat, their tail is going to be held high, maybe with a little question mark curve at the tip. But if you see that tail whipping back and forth, that's your signal that they are not happy. It's a clear sign of agitation, and trust me, you'll want to give them some space. And it gets even more specific, which is super cool. So if you see that tail all puffed up like a bottle brush, that's a fear response. It's this amazing evolutionary trick to make themselves look way bigger and scarier to a potential threat. On the flip side, a tucked tail means they're feeling anxious or submissive. And what about that little twitch right at the tip? That's pure focus. They're probably locked onto a toy and getting ready to pounce. Of course, it's not just about the tail. A cat's entire body is telling you a story. When they lie on their back and show you their belly, wow, that is a massive sign of trust. They are literally showing you their most vulnerable spot. And when they rub against your legs, they're actually marking you with scent glands in their cheeks, essentially saying, "You're mine, you're part of my crew." And you gotta love this one. That little butt wiggle they do right before they pounce, that is pure hunter mode. They're literally calibrating for the perfect attack.
Okay, so that's the body. Now, let's zoom in a bit and focus on the face. Because there are so many subtle, but super important clues in their eyes, their ears, and even their whiskers.
Okay, this one is just the best. It's called the cat kiss, and it is the ultimate sign of feline trust. If your cat ever looks right at you and gives a long, slow blink, they're basically telling you they love you. It means, "I trust you, I feel completely safe with you." Seriously, it is one of the biggest compliments you can ever get from a cat.
Now, their pupils also tell a story. But here's the catch. Context is absolutely key. Big, wide, dilated pupils can mean they're super excited and playful, but they can also mean they're scared. You have to look at the rest of their body. On the other hand, those narrow, slit-like pupils, that's often a clearer sign of irritation or maybe even anger. And their ears, think of them like little furry satellite dishes, constantly tuning into their environment. When they're forward and upright, it means something has their full attention. They're curious. But when those ears go flat against their head, what some people call airplane ears, that is a crystal clear warning sign. It's a universal back-off signal. They are angry or very scared.
And hey, don't forget the whiskers. They're not just for show. When a cat's curious about something, their whiskers will actually push forward, kind of like little antennas gathering information. But if those whiskers are pulled way back, flat against their face, that's a classic sign of fear or stress. All right, we've covered all the silent signals. Now let's talk about the soundtrack. It's time to decode their sounds because, as any cat person knows, a meow is never just a meow. So that quick, short little meow, that's usually just a friendly hello. But that long, drawn-out meow, oh yeah, that's a demand. They want something and they probably want it right now. A trill is that cute rolling sound they make to get your attention. And that weird chattering noise they make while staring at a bird out the window, that's pure hunting instinct kicking in. Okay, so we're getting way better at understanding them, which is awesome. But how do we speak back? How can we use all this to build a stronger, more trusting bond?
This is probably the single most important rule of all. You have to read the whole cat. One signal on its own is just a hint. A twitching tail could just mean focus. But a twitching tail plus flattened ears and huge pupils, well, that tells a completely different, much more urgent story. You've got to put all the pieces together.
So here are 3 really simple but powerful things you can start doing today. First, return that slow blink. It's a non-threatening way to say, "I'm a friend."
Second, always use a calm, soothing voice. And third, this one is huge. Let them initiate contact. Just hold out your hand and let them approach you. This shows you respect their boundaries, and it builds so much trust.
You see, once you start to really observe these signals, the tail, the ears, the eyes, the sounds, it changes everything. Your relationship transforms. You go from having a mysterious pet to having a meaningful conversation with a cherished member of your family. Your cat is always talking. The only question is, are you ready to listen?